Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's me, That Weeb here, back with part 9 for What If Naruto was from Krypton. Last time, let's just get right into the recap right away. It also, by the way, just a quick reminder, if you're not subscribed to my channel already, make sure to hit that subscribe button, notification bell, as well as hit the like button, comment down below what you think of this episode, and check out the previous episodes if you haven't watched this already. And also, if you feel like it, then make sure to become a member on the channel so you can see member live streams, which I'll be doing every week on Fridays. So I hope you guys are excited for that. Anyway, let's just hop right into the recap and get into the story. So, as you guys already know, this What If Naruto was from Krypton, hasn't come out in around 2 weeks. So here's this little recap. Naruto and the rest of his team, Team Shisui, actually had completed the first part of the Chunin exams, and now they were heading over to a maze designed by the Sand Village specifically for this examination. Now Itachi and Yuki, as well as Naruto himself, would be heading off into this maze with a actual scroll that has a certain word in it. Their entire goal is to actually get every single word for their message that they need. Their message actually has 6 words in it, so they need to get all of them. When they open up their scroll, they see that their word that's written down is the word massacre, with some empty slots next to it for them to write the other words into. Their actual goal is to fill their scroll with the other enemy team's words, and then get to the center of the actual maze itself, turn in their actual word listing before everyone else, and then that's how they pass. Apparently the first 6 or so teams were going to be the only ones to pass this examination, and everyone's sentences were pretty different. Now, Naruto and the rest of his team would be heading off into the maze as we begin this part for What If Naruto was from Krypton. Almost immediately as they enter the maze, Naruto and Yuki utilize their X-ray vision, almost using Yuki using her Byakugan, while Naruto uses his own natural X-ray vision to see through the sand. Gaara, who is, as we know, around 8 or 9 at the time, his father is instructing him on how to change the maze, as Gaara is actually the one who constructed this maze, having it be used as practice from the Kazekage for his own son to gain more power. Alright, Gaara, switch it now. Switch it to Section A. Gaara begins to whirl his hand around while his eyes look pretty sad, as suddenly the sand begins to shift inside of the maze, as the entire team begins to put their arms up to block the wind. Naruto turns back quickly to Itachi and tells him that him and Yuki can definitely see something up ahead. There's chakra going through all the grains of sand, and they're beginning to move, so that they should get down and ready. Immediately, Team Shisui dives to the ground as they all dig down into the ground just a bit so that way they don't get trampled. As the sand begins to spin around the maze in a sphere of commotion causing a sandstorm, the other teams are blocking their eyes and face so that they don't get hit by the sandstorm. A few teams get knocked out from the sand as they lay there in the dirt, while some other teams head over there to take their scrolls. Naruto gets up as he spits sand out of his mouth, as well as Itachi, who had covered his mouth, and Yuki, who gets up pretty easily while brushing sand off her clothes. Where are we? Naruto looks around to see an almost ancient sand village. It seems to be like almost ancient ruins from a long civilization from many years ago. Wow, I don't remember being in here before, Itachi says as he looks around, activating his Sharingan to zoom in on different sections of the buildings around him. It appears that this room is actually around 155 meters in width and diameter. So the rest of the team begins to move as they decide to find some other people. As they're moving along, Naruto senses as well as Yuki see someone. They then turn around immediately as they see Kota Shimura, that kid from the last examination who had the guts to tell Itachi that he was going to go first. As Kota comes out with his Rain Ninja team, Naruto as well as the rest of Team Shisui get ready for battle. I'm Kota Shimura, I'm going to take that scroll from you, and I'm going to be one of the first people to pass this and become a Chunin. Immediately as he says this, Yuki, Naruto, and Itachi all dive into battle. Naruto using his heat ray vision and blasting the actual team, while Itachi goes rushing a shuriken, as well as a fireball jutsu just for good measure. Yuki quickly comes in and throws out a 32 trigrams, 64 palms, as she completely shuts off all of Kota's chakra points, basically having them put up no fight. These guys are no trouble compared to those bandits that we fought a while ago. Itachi nods at this and tells Naruto to grab their scroll. As they pick up their scroll, they see the word will in the space that next to where their word massacre would be. Naruto then asks if anyone has a pen, and Yuki pulls out an ink pen, and they write the word will next to massacre. Alright, we need the word before massacre, the word after will, the word after that, and the word after that, and then we should be all good. All right, let's keep moving, Itachi says, as they head out of that room and walk off into the next corridor. As they get into this corridor, it seems they've walked into some sort of building, as this building has stairs, fire poles, as well as lots of different jumping areas around it, almost like some sort of climbing maze. As they begin to climb up the tower, Naruto tells Itachi and Yuki that he can actually carry them to get to the top rather quickly. Both of them must think this is a good idea, while Yuki's kind of embarrassed that she has to ride on Naruto's back. Itachi grabs onto Naruto's legs while Yuki hops onto his back. Naruto then flies upward with his cape flowing around all three of them. As they're flying up, they then hear, "What's that supposed to be? You guys look like some sort of dumb animal." As three grass ninja head out of one of the side corridors above. One of them quickly spits their tongue out using some kind of lizard-like jutsu, as the tongue begins to wrap around Yuki's leg. Yuki spits and says that that's nasty as she takes her other hand and creates a wind gale palm, pushing the tongue off her leg. Itachi and Yuki both jump off to the side as some sandboxes are stuck to the wall. Naruto continues to float there as he holds his hand out and tells Itachi he can take these guys away easily. Itachi tells him to let him have some fun as he dives into the battle. As he jumps from wall to wall, he pulls two kunai, slashes at their legs, and cuts through their actual pants cloth. And as they do so, while they're distracted, turns around and uses a fire phoenix flower jutsu, thus hitting all of them at once. As they go flying out of the cavern, feeling extremely hot, they then feel the sudden rush of cold air as Naruto uses his frost breath. With Naruto using his frost breath, all of them are solidified in ice as they sit there frozen with their scroll sticking out the back end of one of their pouches. Yuki then quickly walks up with her tongue sticking out, and she says, as she grabs the scroll out of the ice, having to pry it out of their hands. They then wave goodbye as Yuki grabs her eye and pulls it down, making a "nyeh" sound as they jump out of there. As Yuki and Itachi, as well as Naruto, head off to the next area, they then decide to pull out the scroll and see what word it has on it. When they pull out the actual scroll that the other team had, and they look at it, they see the first word before massacre. The massacre will. As Itachi sees these words, he then thinks of what he heard from his father, and he stands still for a second. Naruto turns around and asks what's up, and Itachi shakes his head saying, never mind, it's nothing. As they continue onwards, they now know that they need to find the last three words. The massacre will. I wonder what it's going to say, Yuki says, as they continue heading forward. As they get into this Colosseum-looking area, realizing that all of these rooms are quite large themselves and thinking about how large this maze must be, they look down into the arena to see another team waiting for them. Another two teams, actually, already fighting it out. Naruto is about to charge right in when Itachi and both Yuki grab the back of his actual cape and tell him to hold still. They then tell him that they're going to wait to see who wins, and then they can take them both out and get two words, maybe. As they're waiting for this, suddenly a third team arrives from the other entrance of the Colosseum, rushing into the battle. As this happens, one of the teams actually is taken down, and that new party grabs the scroll, running off. Damn it, Itachi says. He then tells Naruto to go after them as he and Yuki can take care of these guys. Yuki as well as Itachi jump into battle, with Yuki starting off with an air gale palm, shooting it down onto the crowd below, as Itachi dives into the battle as well, hitting the crowd of shinobi who had just recovered from a fight. Him throwing kunai at them while him and Yuki double team on them. Naruto smiles, thinking that his team is totally awesome, as he then rushes off, pushing chakra into his legs to increase his strength even further, as he goes rushing around from the side building, flying into the other corridor. As Naruto continues flying, he uses extra vision to see where the team went, and sees them hiding in one of the closets, trying to write down their new words that they got. I got you now, he says, as he quickly uses heat ray vision to cut a hole in the wall, scaring some actual ninja from the Cloud Village. He then says it's time to take them out with one blow, as he cocks his fist back and punches it into all three of them, causing them to be knocked out against the wall. He grabs both their scrolls and sees two words in them. At dawn. The massacre will blank at dawn. Alright. That must mean Itachi and Yuki have to get this last one. As Naruto runs back into the Colosseum, he finds that Yuki and Itachi just finished up their fight, and they hold up their scroll, giving a thumbs up. Naruto takes his two out and tells them that, alright, the final code is the massacre will at dawn. As Yuki unrolls the scroll, she says, occur. The massacre will occur at dawn. Naruto then writes this down in their own scroll, as they then take the other scrolls and Itachi burns them for good measure. Now that the other scrolls were disposed of and their scroll being the only one remaining, it's time that they head off as Itachi, Naruto, and Yuki get into the next area. As they continue heading forward, making it past the other obstacles in their way, they finally make it to the center of the maze as they turn in their scroll, being the third team to arrive there. Being so fast and having two other teams that actually made it there before them was kind of impressive. Now there's currently 9 people left, at least in the training exams for this portion. Just as the timer's about to run up and the bell is about to ring, one last team comes charging in with an orange-haired boy from the Rain Village, rushing in and putting his own scroll down, saying that they made it just in time. At this point, then, Naruto, who's relaxing on the couch, says he's pretty much ready for anything, as Itachi and Yuki nod. The rest of this examination is now complete. Now, you all have one last challenge left. There seems to be, apparently, 12 team members left. Perfect. We're going to be having a battle royale. Itachi, as well as Naruto and Yuki, are both look up, concerned about what this might be. In 1 month from now, all of the teams will be meeting here in the Sand Village into this Coliseum. I'm sure many of you have seen it already. Naruto nods, thinking of the Coliseum they had just been in. We will be reappropriating it to make that Coliseum a much larger, as well as adding obstacles similar to other events you might have seen around this maze. Your job will be have two teams. It'll be more of a capture the flag kind of battle royale. However, there's a twist to it. Each team will have 2 color flags, a red and blue, obviously, and each will have their own home base assigned that they may choose. This will be monitored by Jonin throughout the entire arena so no one gets too hurt, he says. However, there won't be any help for you once you get inside of this examination. In this examination, it'll be all about teamwork and working with other villages in order to proceed. This means that there'll be around 6 members per team. It'll be about 2 teams on each team of 2 shinobi teams on each team. You may all pick who you want to be with, I would say, next month. But if you want to prepare ahead of time, then feel free. I don't care. I couldn't care less. At this point now, each of the teams are looking to each other to see who might be the strongest. Naruto, Itachi, and Yuki aren't too concerned about it, as they are just planning ahead for what they're going to do for training for the next month. Itachi is pretty happy to finally get to go home to the Leaf Village for at least another month before he has to come back. He then tells the examinee and asks if they're ready to go. Itachi smiling. The examiner then nods and tells them that they're all free to go, as all the teams head out. Naruto tells him that was kind of exhausting as he wipes his forehead and asks if any of them want to go get food when they get back. Yuki says that all he ever thinks about is food, and then Naruto laughs as the team heads off. Naruto is wondering what he should do for the next month as he's walking around. This is when suddenly an interesting aspect would occur, as Naruto had made it back to the Leaf Village after a week of traveling back. He would only have around 2 weeks to train and then head back to the actual, Sand Village itself. Naruto would be walking around when he sees Kakashi as well as Jiraiya on the roof of a building. He would then talk to Shisui and ask who those 2 people were. Shisui would then explain that that's Kakashi Hatake, as well as standing there as Jiraiya, one of the 3 Sannin. Shisui would then introduce Naruto to Kakashi as well as Jiraiya, with Jiraiya realizing that this is one of his 2 godsons, as he pats Naruto on the head and says it's nice to meet him. Naruto laughs and says it's great to meet him too. Jiraiya then asks what his funky clothes is about. Naruto gets a little bit surprised, as he gets a little angry and blushes out of embarrassment, telling him that it was a gift from someone. Naruto then covers his cape as he covers his chest, making a little bit of a pouty face. Jiraiya then laughs and tells him that it'd be actually kind of fun to train with him, as Naruto looks up and says, "Really?" And Jiraiya agrees. Naruto and Jiraiya would begin training for the next 2 weeks, but unknown to them, Itachi would be on his own festivities. Unknown to the rest of the people in the village, Itachi, as well as the Uchiha clan, would be having a certain event be occurring rather soon, which Itachi was dreading. As we then zoom out of the story, we see Shisui Uchiha walking rather home late after about a week into Naruto and Jiraiya's training. While Naruto is training with Jiraiya on learning how to manipulate his chakra better, as Naruto basically relies on his own brute physical traits and strength for most fights, he's now learning some actual more experienced jutsu, as well as how to actually use chakra control, due to him not having very much of his own chakra. Shisui is walking home from the bathhouse, and when he is doing so, he suddenly feels a hand slide across the right side of his face, and suddenly his eye is grabbed. He turns around just in time to see Danzo as he rips his right Sharingan out. Shisui screams in pain as he teleports away, quickly using Body Flicker, while Danzo's trying to go after him. Shisui escapes, and as he's rushing along the edge of the Leaf Village, trying to get past this waterfall, he then notices Itachi standing there, as Itachi is preparing for the Uchiha massacre which had to take place. Itachi! Itachi turns to see his friend and master, Shisui. Hey, Shisui, oh my god, what's wrong with your eye? Itachi's wondering as he holds his hands up to see if everything's alright. Shisui then pulls his hand away to show his empty socket as he's breathing heavily. He then tells Itachi that there's something he must do, and that he has to take this away before Danzo can take it from him. He then explains about his Mangekyo Sharingan to Itachi, and how he's passing on this to him. He then gives Itachi his Sharingan, as he says goodbye to Itachi and tells him to tell Naruto and Yuki what's going on, as Shisui falls back into the waterfall, dying. If you guys want to see the next part for What If Naruto was a Kryptonian, or What If Naruto was from Krypton to be more precise, make sure to hit the like button, comment down below what you thought, and subscribe for more on the channel. Next part will be covering the Uchiha Massacre, as well as the Chunin exams, I guess, if that's what your cup of tea is. And I'll see you guys then. Bye.